Yes, so good morning everyone. So today we are going to start with something which you may relate to because it is related to the word that is in front of you, that is what is written. It is related to the breakfast. Basically, you must be feeling hungry when you are looking at this word, right? So the breakfast, you must be eating healthy breakfast to stay healthy, right? So that is what we are going to learn about today. Yes, so we'll be moving forward. Yes, now what do you see? What different things are there on your screen? I can see apple. An apple is there. Then pulses. Yes, pulses are just something else. Dry fruits basically. Dry fruits are also there. Then we have chapatis. The tortilla is also there. The tortilla is also there. Then eggs are there. We can see onion is also there. Then milk is also there. Do you get energy after eating all these things? Dry fruits, apple, tortilla, then eggs, onion, milk. So we'll be looking at the heterotrophic mode of nutrition because the things which were mentioned in the previous slide were either they were plant based or they were animal based, right? Because eggs we obtain from animals, right? And apple, milk, and milk we obtain from animals. If we talk about apple, we are getting it from plants. So we are dependent on others for like animals or plants for our own food, right? For our nutrition, we are dependent on plants and animals basically. We are heterotrophs. So we'll be discussing in detail about heterotrophs in today's class. For this is we have discussed about two modes of reproduction till now, that is autotrophic and heterotrophic, and in this class we'll be discussing about heterotrophic mode of nutrition in detail. Yes, so if we talk about heterotrophic mode of nutrition, then it is what it should be, that heterotrophic mode of nutrition is that mode of nutrition in which an organism cannot make its own food and they depend on other organisms for their food. For example, all the animals are heterotrophs because all the animals are either dependent on other animals or plants for their nutrition. The non-green plants like yeast are also heterotrophs because there are plants which are not dependent on just who are not making their own food all the time, so they are also heterotrophs in nature. They are also following the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Yes, so now you will be giving answer to these questions, which are these easy questions you will be giving answer to. So the first question is, which of the following is an autotroph? Green plant or man? This should be an easy question for you now. This should be easy to answer. So which of the following is an autotroph? Green plant or man? Yes. So green plant are the autotrophs in, if we talk about these two examples, because they make their own food and they are not dependent on others for their food, right? So they are the autotrophs. Green plants are the autotrophs. And the second question is, fill in the blanks, that is all green plants are, whether they are autotrophs or heterotrophs. This is related to the previous question that we have just discussed. I'll give you 3 seconds to punch your responses in the comment section. Yes, so all green plants are basically autotrophs. There are some non-green plants basically that are exception, but most of all the green plants that are there, they are autotrophs only. And the green plant that what makes them green is the pigment, that is chlorophyll, which we have already discussed. And the all non-green plants and animals are what they are, but in which category they should fall. I'll give you 5 seconds to give your response. Yes, so all non-green plants and animals will be included under the category of heterotrophs basically. They will be following heterotrophic mode of nutrition because they are dependent on others for their food or nutrition. So a heterotrophic organism can obtain its food from other organisms in 3 ways. We have 3 ways in which an heterotrophic organism can obtain its food from other organisms. That is, first way is saprotrophic nutrition. The second way is parasitic nutrition. The third way is holozoic nutrition basically. So saprotrophic, parasitic and holozoic nutrition are three types of nutrition which will be coming under, or which will be included under heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So we'll be discussing upon them one by one. Yes. So if we talk about the saprotrophic nutrition, yes. Now what do you see in front of you? What are there in the pictures? What can you see in the pictures? There is this, I think there is this bone structure that is present here, which must be belonging to someone who is already dead, right? And these leaves are also, they are dry, they have fallen after some time, they have become like this. So we can say dead and decaying matter. Yes, the matter that is already dead, because leaves have fallen because they are dead, and they are dead now, they are decaying, like they are losing their shape and size with time, getting rotten. And if you talk about the second picture also, the bones are getting the flesh on the bone is getting decayed now, time with according, like as the time is passing. So saprotrophs are the organisms which obtain their food from dead plants, like rotten leaves, dead and decaying animals bodies, and other decaying organic matter like rotten bread, fungi like bread molds, mushrooms, yeast, and many bacteria are saprophytes. So those organisms which are undergoing this, like which are opting for this saprotrophic mode of nutrition, we are calling them as saprophytes. So there are multiple fungi like bread molds, mushroom and yeast. They will be included in this category because they will be feeding on dead decaying matter, and many bacteria are also included in this category. So now we know what is saprotrophic mode of nutrition, that those organisms which are obtaining their food from dead and decaying matter, they are basically called as saprophytes. They are opting for saprophytic mode of nutrition. Yes. Now how these organisms acquire nutrients? They do not have mouths like animals do. They are not like green plants as they lack chlorophyll and cannot make their food by photosynthesis. Now this is a question for you, that how do you think they are acquiring nutrition? Because this mushroom, we have not seen any mouth in the mushroom. In fungi also we have not seen any mouth, right? So how do you think they are acquiring food? Because we have a mouth to acquire food, but they do not have, right? So we'll be discussing upon that. I'll give you 10 seconds to give your guesses, so that you can give your guesses in the comment section. Yes. Yes, so we'll be checking if your guesses are right or not. So saprophytes undergoes extracellular digestion to digest the dead and decaying matter. They release, or we can say they are releasing digestive substances into the surrounding environment. So okay, now I have this board for you. So if, let's say this organism is a saprophyte, they're not having any mouth, but they will be releasing some chemicals in their surroundings, right? Like this, they will be releasing chemicals, secreted some chemicals. Yes, so some chemicals are released by them, and those chemicals are the chemicals which will be having digestive properties. Digestive properties will be having, these substances will be having digestive properties basically, and they will be released in the surrounding environment, and they will break down the organic matter into simpler substances. So if this is the organic matter this microorganism was present on, so they will be breaking it into parts. They will be breaking it into parts, right? So these chemical substances that are released by those saprophytes, they will be having digestive properties, and they will be breaking the organic matter into parts basically to digest them. later on. The nutrients thus produced are absorbed directly through the cell membrane of the organism. So this cell membrane of the organism, of this organism, will be taking the nutrients from the surrounding environment after they are digested basically. So I hope this is clear to you. Yes. So this is how the saprotrophic mode of nutrition will work. So we'll be moving forward. I hope the saprotrophic mode of nutrition is now clear to you. Yes, you will be giving answer to this question now. I'm not able to find the cap of it. Yes. So in how many ways a heterotrophic organism can obtain its food from other organisms? Now we have discussed in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, we have discussed three categories, that there are three types in which heterotrophic mode of nutrition can occur. From those types, we have discussed just one till now. So what do you think? What according to you is the answer of this question? Yes, 4, 2, 3 or 5 ways in which heterotrophic organism can obtain its food from the organism, other organisms basically. Yes, so the answer to this question is 3. That is Holozoic mode of nutrition, saprophytic mode of nutrition and parasitic mode of nutrition, which we have already discussed also. Yes, saprophytic, parasitic and holozoic nutrition are the three types of nutrition in which the heterotrophic nutrition organism can take up their food from the other organisms. Yes, now we have other category, that is the parasitic mode of nutrition. Yes, so yes, now I hope you are, it is visible to you now, that the parasitic nutrition is that nutrition in which an organism derives its food from the body of another living organism called its host. The organism that from where the food is being derived, they are being called as host, without killing it. Basically, they feed on another living organism. For example, several fungi, then bacteria, a few plants like Cuscuta, like we are also calling it as amarbale, ticks, leeches and tapeworms. You must have observed that if there are ticks in someone's hair or leeches, if it is present on some organism or some animals or sometimes on us as well, what they do, they suck blood, right? So they are taking the nutrition from us. So if they are taking the nutrition from us, then what are we to them? We are the host, right? So we are the host. We are providing them something that they require. But they are not killing us. They are taking the nutrition and we are also still alive, right? So if that is the parasitic mode of nutrition in which the benefitor, the one who is gaining the benefit, is not killing the host, right? And the one who is taking the who is taking the benefit is not killing the host, and the other who is who is being the one who has the, or we can say whose blood is being sucked, so he is also not much affected, but it is still he is still affected by it, but not to the extent that he will die, he or that it will die, right? So basically they feed on another living organism. But the example of these are several fungi, bacteria, a few plants like Cuscuta, ticks, leeches and tapeworms. So I hope this is clear to you now, that how parasitic nutrition works. Yes, you will be matching the following. Now I'll be asking you that for saprophytic mode of nutrition for saprotrophic mode of nutrition, which out of these following will be selected from you? If you will be writing those options in the comment section. What belongs to the saprophytic nutrition? So we can say mushroom, rotten leaves, dead plants, fungi, some fungi also, they will be included under saprophytic mode of nutrition. Yes, but if we talk about parasitic nutrition, then what will be included in this? Yes, so if you talk about parasitic nutrition, then tapeworm, leeches, and bedbugs and some fungi again, they will be included in the category of parasitic nutrition basically. Those who are not killing the host but they are taking their food from the host. They are sucking blood or other ways of taking nutrition that are there. Yes, now we'll do a recap of what we have discussed today in detail. Yes. So we have today discussed about that. We have seen that there are different types of nutrition. So autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. But in that heterotrophic nutrition as well, we have three categories. That is holozoic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, and parasitic nutrition. And we have discussed about how in saprophytic nutrition the organism are feeding on dead and decaying matter, and they're taking their food from the dead decaying matter. How they have no mouth, but they're releasing digestive enzymes in their surroundings, and they are those enzymes are breaking down the substance or the plant or the part of the body of the organism that they want to digest, and the digestion will be, the absorption will be taken up by the membrane of that organism basically. So if we talk about parasitic nutrition, then parasitic nutrition is all about how the organism is feeding on the host. They are feeding on the one they are feeding on, they will be called as host, and they are not killing the host, but they are getting benefit, the nutrition that they want from the host without killing it. So that is being called as parasitic mode of nutrition. Yes, you will be giving answer to these questions. That heterotrophs depend on dash organisms for their dash. Heterotrophs depends on dash organisms for their dash. You will be giving your answers in the comment section. Yes, so heterotrophs depend on autotrophs organisms for their nutrition basically, right? And the next question is that fill this table. You will be filling this table. You will be writing your responses in the chat box or the comment section, I would say. So for saprotrophic mode of nutrition, the mode of nutrition for saprotrophic nutrition and parasitic nutrition, you will be writing whether it is autotrophic or heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Yes, I'll give you 5 seconds for that. Yes, so if you talk about the mode of nutrition, the saprotrophic nutrition will come in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and parasitic nutrition will also come under heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And if you talk about the definition of saprotrophic nutrition and parasitic nutrition, we will be giving those definitions in the comment section below. So I'll be giving you 10 seconds for each definition. Just a brief definition of what saprotrophic nutrition and parasitic nutrition means. Yes. Yes, so if you talk about the definition, saprotrophic nutrition means when the organism, that heterotrophic organism will feed upon the dead and decaying matter, and they will be obtaining their food from the dead and decaying matter. And if you talk about the parasitic nutrition, then they will be obtaining their food from the host, living host basically. They will be taking the nutrition from that living host without killing that host. Yes, so that is parasitic nutrition. They both come under the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And the example, yes, you can write few examples in the comment section below. I'll give you 5 to 10 seconds for that. Two examples for saprophytic and parasitic nutrition basically. Yes, we have discussed about in saprophytic nutrition. We have seen that different bacteria are also there. Mushroom is also there. right? Some certain fungi is also there who feed on that and decaying matter. And if we talk about parasitic nutrition, then the examples would be the leeches, ticks, bugs, right? Who are feeding on hosts, different hosts to obtain their nutrition, or you can say obtain their food. So we are done with the recap today, and I'll be giving you few things for the homework. Yes. So let me adjust it a bit. So the homework that you have to do today is, what is the mode of nutrition in fungi? We have discussed this whole scenario in the class today. So what is the mode of nutrition in fungi? I will explain that. And name the mode of nutrition in roundworms and plasmodium. You will be have to find out the nutrition, the type of nutrition, the type of mode of nutrition which is present or which is being followed by roundworms and plasmodium basically. And you will also have to do an activity, that is, you'll take a piece of bread and moisten it with water, leave it in a moist warm place for 2 to 3 days or until fluffy patches appear on them. What is the color of these patches? You will be observing that. Observe the patches under a microscope or a magnifying glass. Microscope you won't be having in your home, so you will be going for the magnifying glass only. So you will write down your observations in the notebook, and if you are having you are going to a lab in a school or somewhere, then you can also observe it under a microscope as well. So otherwise a magnifying glass is always there. Then write down your observations in the notebook. You'll be writing down your observations, and you will see cotton like threads spread on the piece of bread. In our homes also, sometimes we see that the rotten bread is there. Their molds have developed, the green color or white green color molds have developed on that bread if it is moist and kept in, and has not been kept in the refrigerator for a long time. So there will be molds will be appearing on that piece of bread. So we'll be observing this. So you will be writing your observations, and I'll be checking your answers. You will be writing your observation after this activity in the comment section. I'll be checking that. So thank you for being with me today. So we are done with the class today. We have today discussed about the different type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, that is holozoic nutrition, saprotrophic nutrition, and the parasitic nutrition. The two we have discussed in the class. The one that is left we are going to discuss is that in the next class, that is the upcoming class. We'll be discussing about the holozoic mode of nutrition as well, that is left out of the three nutrition that are coming under the heterotrophic mode of nutrition basically. So till then, stay healthy and happy. We'll be meeting again soon. You did great today. If there are any queries which you want to know, anything you're finding difficult, you can write those queries in the comment section below. I'll be checking upon those queries later on, and will be surely replying to those questions. And I'll also be checking the responses that you have given during the class, which I was not able to while giving the class. So hopefully you all have understood what I tried to discuss here today. So the session is going to end soon now. Thank you students for participating well in the classroom. You all have performed well. We'll be continuing this topic in the next class. That is the one thing that is left, that is holozoic mode of nutrition, coming under the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So till then, bye bye and keep learning. I hope you have found this topic interesting and were able to follow along with me. Yes, thank you students for today.